A ver. ¡Ah, qué guapo!
They are pretty straightforward.
Vale, esa string.
Really hard.
Dios.
All the punching. Throw in the haymakers.
That's exactly right. This is not a martial
Ese rodillazo.
There's not a lot of finesse here.
Right.
Quiero ver el alcance de ese rodillazo. Mira, mira, mira. Ese medio. Hay que testearlo, ¿eh? Buah. Quita bastante, ¿eh? Otro medio, ¿eh? Pero tiene una recuperación.
I really hope he's got some cool air combos, but we'll have to wait, I guess.
Well, I'm sure we'll see some. He also has some really interesting mix-ups to open up the opponent.
A ver.
For example, his sweep is pretty unique because he drops down and does
wow. Que la traes cínculo con Bea también.
What a show off.
He also has 4-3 where he literally just stomps the ground and creates an earthquake.
Uf, ese puto bajo, chaval.
This is one of his coolest moves. He has an awesome long-range overhead where he zips across the screen super fast, and if he's up close, he'll zip behind you and knock you down.
And that's just a button.
Dios mío.
What?
And you can see it has really good range.
That's all I'm gonna need. That's it.
Yeah, you can mix that up with the sweep.
Uf. Este personaje con Scorpion que tiene un overhead.
Putting people's faces in the ground.
Yeah, he's a strong guy.
Flipas, ¿eh?
So let's go over his special moves. Great.
Yeah.
One unique thing about OMNI-MAN is he actually has a lot of aerial mobility. All of his special moves can be done in the air. He has ground and air versions of all of them.
A ver cómo se mueve desde el aire.
First one I'd like to show is the Mega Clap. Puts his hands togetger.
A ver el aplauso.
Not patty cake, it's the Mega Clap. Sends
Dios.
very far. It's a great combo ender with Punisher. Kind of mid-range.
Tiene bastante alcance, ¿eh?
Did you almost use it like zoning too?
Exactly.
Oh, okay.
Keep them in, keep them out.
Bueno, no tiene.
Not full screen, but the EX version goes even further and will destroy projectiles.
Oh, okay.
Destruye proyectiles si lo mejoras.
Everything he does.
He also has this big charge move where he literally just like charges in with his chest. And we've all learned in the 90s in N64 wrestling games that if you put your chest out, you're blocking moves. So he can just barge in. And the EX version has armor. So this
Qué guapo está.
You think they're gonna do like
A ver, no es la cosa más súper útil del mundo, pero es rápido de cojones.
Another special move he has that, and you'll see this, being able to close the gap is a reoccurring theme with OMNI-MAN.
Gotcha.
Because he wants to get in there and punch.
Exactly. Torpedo move.
Dios.
Superhero classic. He can do this in the air and it actually goes downwards.
Wow.
It'll pop the opponent up. Another move great for just full screen at any moment.
A ver.
Very quick.
Pero es que en verdad se parecen mucho todos los especiales estos de.
Correct. But if you do it in the air,
de tal.
Very cool. I also really like how the blood from his opponent gets onto his costume.
No sé, no veo los especiales muy similares, en verdad. El primero que han enseñado que es súper rápido, el otro que han enseñado que es la embestida con el pecho, y esta desde el suelo, pues es prácticamente todas iguales. Esto va a ser lo bueno, la pose esta.
Plus a bunch of mobility options. Let's start with the mobility. You can cancel it, but you can also warp forward.
Oh.
Dios mío.
Extremely quickly. And again, he can do this in the air like all of his special moves.
Puede engañar mucho,
The first, I think, is one of the key moves.
Pero lo veo difícil, de manejar.
And this is like his main combo starter.
Vale.
You can quickly go into it. You can even go into it off of the low I talked about earlier.
Dragging people in the dirt.
He also has this move where he zooms across super fast behind you.
Qué guapo, tío. Quita muchísimo.
It's a great check. You think the opponent might try to like throw something out when he's in the stance, you can quickly go into it.
Eso para acabar los combos va a ser el movimiento que se use.
He drops down.
So it tracks.
Exactly.
Overhead.
A big anti-air uppercut, and zooms across, and then covers all the upward space. So it's kind of like the upwards version of the zip behind you.
I just love that spine.
Wow.
It's so cool. I like the facial animation. So
Está guapísimo.
How am I supposed to go into this stance when you're doing projectiles, you're doing long-range normals and all that? And he's just vulnerable floating there, right?
Mm-hmm. Well, I don't think
Wrong.
Really is.
No,
I don't think so.
No.
So in Viltrumite stance, when he does it, he's immune to all fireballs. They will literally just pass through.
Madre mía, chaval. Para los zoneadores va a ser una pesadilla esto.
That's some of the coolest stuff I've ever seen.
It's definitely awesome.
It's pretty awesome.
Just dodging.
The EX version starts up faster and also makes him immune to normal attacks as well.
Dios.
And then he can go in and punish them
That's so cool.
as they're recovering.
Qué guapo.
To use that's gonna be really interesting.
Yes. And again, he can do that in the air. The EX version is very, very quick.
It's gonna be embarrassing too.
It is very, very good.
Madre mía, es difícil, va a ser difícil de manejar, pero wow.
And then lastly, for his mobility, he has a unique air dash. This actually has a physical hit attached to it. It doesn't just pass through the opponent. So you can see he spins the opponent around for a free hit.
Dios.
As long as you have meters, so you can do stuff like
Wow, los combos que se van a poder hacer en el aire, chaval.
use that to get in, you can use it to get out, and it'll always have that physical hit. So again, to recap that, if you just do it for the first time, it doesn't take any meter. But if you want to do it twice, like in a combo like I showed, it's going to take a bar. Similar to how Notaro works.
Very cool.
So I think in general, OMNI-MAN's a pretty simple powerhouse.
Wow, va a costar mañana esto dominarlo en el modo práctica horas.
I think the Viltrumite stance is going to be super, super interesting.
Horas.
Sometimes, like, of my level probably, when you hear stance, you get a little scared. But his stance is actually it's not your typical, like, it's not that hard to use, really.
Right, it is not really hard to use, and he was not meant to be. He is meant to be like, just like you see on
Horitas.
He's just tearing through people effortlessly. That's exactly what our design team went with, and I think they really nailed
It shows, yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
Super cool. I love it.
yeah, I think he's going to be really,
Pero
really
está guapísimo,
Would
Me
you guys
gusta
like
mucho.
Tremor?
I think we would.
You know what? Let's just save it for another day, Reed.
Just save
Just
it?
save it for another day.
I'm gonna vote yes.
All right. I'm
I
swayed.
guess
Okay,
we'll do
okay,
it.
all right.
So Tremor's one of the most interesting cameos in the game, and I can't wait to see our players use him because he has more moves than any of the original roster.
A ver, Tremor.
Okay.
Let's see how it works.
Let's do it. Let's do it.
So we all know Tremor debuted in Mortal Kombat Special Forces, but he really made his big playable debut in MKX.
Correct,
Where he
correct.
had 3 variations.
Yes.
And that's something our design team wanted to bring back. You can actually go Aftershock, Metallic, and Crystalline, and he has a different set of moves.
Uf, el cristalino, a ver qué hace. Como te cura de un golpe como en el Mortal Kombat 10, verás.
Starts with Aftershock. You can even see in his life bar, and he's like the brown, rocky, kind of traditional looking clobbering time.
El agarre.
So he has 3 moves when he's in Aftershock. He has his rock punch. It's
Vale.
exactly what you'd expect. He just kind
Lunge
of
and
comes
punch.
in,
Yep.
it's safe on block, it knocks you away. You can use it to end your strings.
Vale.
He also has
Movimiento que no va a usar casi nadie.
which is a pop-up starter.
Which I'm pretty sure he also had in
In
MKX. Yes.
And then lastly, he has his ground pound, where he comes in, he does a low, and then pieces out. So if you have a really good overhead,
Ataques bajos,
for example,
mágicos.
You have a mid-screen overhead that's almost instant. You can also have a mid-screen low that's almost instant,
So good.
which is pretty awesome.
Bien, está bien. Pero bueno, Kulao está mejor en este caso.
Aftershock, he's sort of the attacker.
Yeah,
The
I would say
offensive one?
it's offensive. It's pretty basic. It's
En ese sentido, pero bueno, este va a tener más herramientas, así que vamos a ver ahora.
Right.
kind of the one like base, which is why it's the default one.
Right.
So then at any time you hit R1 and he'll come out and he'll cycle to the next one, which is metallic.
Ahora es
Now he
metálico.
has an entirely new set of moves, and they're all lava based. He has his lava burst, which is like
Vale,
mid-range,
versión de lava.
kind of, there's no reason not to use it. He has an anti-air lava burst, and then this is really, really cool. He has this bowling ball, which is
Dios.
and if you hold it, it becomes an overhead.
Okay.
So he's got kind of mid-range attacks, plus a 50-50.
Eso está bastante bien,
You can mix up.
Oh, awesome.
Again,
So then,
straight out of MKX. It's so cool.
right.
Me
so
gusta,
then
está
that
guapo.
gives you also zoning abilities or a projectile if you have a character that is lacking that,
Exactly.
which is awesome.
Or if you have really good projectiles and you want to double down.
Double
on
down.
mix-ups, you can go that way.
Right.
And maybe you have like really great anti-air, and this can be a low that is going to make them want to jump. You know, you could put out Lime's lantern and then be doing this. It's just all kind. I think the creative freedom in the cameo system is
Está
the coolest
guapo.
part of the game, right?
Can't agree more.
And then lastly, one more stance.
Okay.
A ver, que está lindo.
People have been looking forward to this.
Yeah, Ed kind of teased it, and I think a
Como
lot
te
of
cubra de un golpe, va a ser más
people-
roto,
In Crystalline, he has two attacks. He has.
Eso devuelve, eso devuelve los proyectiles,
That's
sí.
the big one, and a lot of people were like, "There's no way they're gonna do that." We did.
No,
Crystalline armor.
no.
So once he has crystalline armor, it's doomsday for the opponent. Oops, I was too slow. Oh my god.
Hostia.
Summon the armor. And he will just absorb attacks like an absolute badass.
Beast.
Right.
And so the way this works, the cycling is once you do the summon, like I said, it'll go through it. And it goes in a particular order. And if you hold down
sabía,
arrow
tío.
one, it goes the opposite order. So you could go from crystalline to aftershock instead of and skip metallic in between, if that makes sense. It's like the cycling.
Yeah.
So there is definitely a skill
Yes.
cap on like people who can go back and forth and know
Exactly.
what you're doing. So like yes, they have a lot of moves.
Es una locura, ¿eh?
Be cycling.
Exactly.
You have to manage
always
that.
Are gonna, right. You're going to have to manage the order that you're in because you cannot go straight
Menos
from
mal que dura
aftershock.
poquito. O sea, más o menos creo que está equilibrado, pero...
Sorry, you can't go from metallic to aftershock unless you go.
O sea, que le puedas pegar mientras se está pegando.
I just confused myself.
Pensaba que te iba a cubrir de un golpe, pero esto es 1000 veces mejor.
So it's whether you want to go which order. And then there's a really, really, really cool twist, I think, really sets him apart. When you call him out, it's an ambush move, and you can transition into any of these attacks. So let me show you. Right now I'm in Crystalline. If I go to Aftershock and then immediately enter a back in R1, he will immediately, while still on screen, go into the ground pound. Like so.
Hostia.
Oh. Interesting.
Or next in the cycle is Metallic. So let's say I wanted to do the bolt.
Pero gasta todo el cambio entero.
I can do it that way. Or Crystalline. I can do instant Crystalline armor.
Interesting. Very cool.
No la ha dado con la... esta.
All of his moves can also be ambush moves if you commit to bringing him out, swapping, and then immediately doing the move. Now that's going to be somewhat risky.
Eso va a cambiar bastante el juego, eh.
You're going to have to be where you are in the cycle and all that. So there's a lot of risk and a lot of thought that's going to go into it, but it's extremely
Pimba,
powerful
pimba,
in
pimba.
actual cycle.
La agarra está guapo.
And I think it's one of the cooler
Me gusta
moments in
mucho.
the game for cameos.
Excellent.
Very cool.
So that's that, huh?
I think we have one more thing to
Una
say.
rotura de espina dorsal.
His fatal blow, and the fatal blow attack that he goes into is pretty neat because again it uses his speed. You can see here.
El Fatal Blow.
Nope.
Pimba. Ya lo hemos visto en todos los trailers, en verdad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Ya.
So take a look.
A ver, vamos a ver. Peleita con OMNI-MAN. Vamos a ver combitos y cosas. Let's go.
The face, just his face.
A ver en combate cómo se ve. Su Jinko. Vaya. Vale, no vende. Anda.
I've always liked the hair, the white hair on the side, so that's what's happening to me.
Oh, same here.
So yeah,
Wow, lo que quita. Y sin cameo.
You can see right there. OMNI-MAN tried to call out Tremor and Scorpion.
Yo creo que van a salir combos de media vida el primer día, seguro.
Very powerful, but it's not just free. Call him in any time. I think as the game goes on, it'll be really interesting to see the best players and how they learn to preemptively
Dios.
cameos and all that.
so he avoided the hellfire there too.
Yeah, that was awesome. It's definitely his coolest move.
It's so flashy. It's awesome.
I really love how designed, you know,
Ahí
animated.
está.
Effortless power.
Dios, cómo se ve el puto personaje.
There's
En batalla se ve muy diferente.
Right.
do
Yeah.
it.
It's very well done. Lava burst. Ton of range on lava burst.
Ahí está. El agarrito.
Big rock.
Should be called the
Agarrito otra vez.
Oh, you get anti-air. Didn't really get a lot from it.
Hora de echártelo del cristalino, ¿eh?
Really.
Mira que te están avasallando.
Spear pokes.
Oh,
Good blocks. Convert.
Oh, good combo.
Not done yet.
The air combo stuff is
Wow.
very fun to do. Like hitting that air dash and seeing them spin around is very fun.
Sujinko. Sujinko wins.
God, OMNI-MAN's neck.
Mola un montón.
fine.
Fortunate. Yeah, he's very strong.
Mola un montón el puto OMNI-MAN. Muchas ganas de pillarlo. No se ve ultra mega roto los starters que tiene, pero habrá que ver cómo engañar a la gente, sobre todo.
Oh, yeah, this is gonna hurt pretty bad.
Take him up to the air.
Combito aéreo.
I think it's really fun how slowly you put your face on the
It's
ground, how it
great.
kind of chunks at it. I think
Yes.
that's really cool.
He's also got some really cool powers.
Venga.
They are again just very
¿Qué?
simple and to the point.
Was that a
Also,
combo breaker? It was a giant rock.
yes, it was. That was Tremor riding a giant rock. It is great. I was the first time I saw that.
Wow, 380, chaval. Me cago en la puta.
To be fair, if you were doing a combo, it would break you, your concentration and everything. It's just a man.
Me cago en todo, chaval. 380 in a moment.
That's gonna do it.
Yeah, I don't see Scorpion making it past this.
This is so cinematic. I love it.
Déu meu. Le va a hacer el fatality del tren, que ya lo hemos visto 60 veces. No podía haber hecho el otro, me cago en. Pues nada, chavales, así se ve OMNI-MAN. Mañana lo manejaremos nosotros, a ver qué tal.
All
Así
right.
que nada,
Super cool.
nos vemos mañana con el personaje de probándolo.
Awesome fights.
¡Chao! Muchas gracias por ver el vídeo y recuerda que puedes dejar tu super ultra mega dino like. También puedes suscribirte si te gusta el canal y además activar la campanita si quieres estar al tanto de todo. Recuerda también que puedes apoyarme todavía más dándole al botón de al lado de suscribirse en donde pone unirse y ahí podrás apoyarme todavía más. Muchas gracias por pasarte y pasa un buen día. ¡Chao!